We, the jury, find by a vote of 9-3 that Wade Wilson should be sentenced to death.
In a case that has gripped the community of Cape Coral, Florida, Wade Wilson, a 30-year-old man, was recently convicted of the brutal murders of Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz, two women whose lives were tragically cut short within hours of each other in October 2019. The shocking nature of the crimes, coupled with Wilson's chilling lack of remorse, has led to intense public interest and debate over his fate. As the jury deliberated on his punishment, their recommendation for the death penalty brought tears to the eyes of the victims' families, while Wilson himself remained cold and emotionless throughout the proceedings. Wilson met Melton at a live music bar on October 6, 2019, and went home with her. The following day, he strangled her in her Cape Coral home, where her body was later found. However, Wilson denied all the allegations in a jail interview 2020.
Thank you for using GTL.
Hello.
Hey, is this Wade?
Hey, this is Wade. How's it
Hi,
going?
this is Rochelle. How are you doing?
Good. I'm doing good, Rochelle. How are you?
I'm good. Wade, really quickly, I just wanted to confirm, are you okay that we're recording?
I'm okay with that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Wade, I mean, I hate to get to the heavy stuff right off the bat, but this is a question a lot of people at home have been asking us. They want to know the answer to, so I just want to ask you right off the bat. People want to know, are you guilty of this concerning Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz?
No, ma'am. I did not commit these, and I'm innocent. I did not. No, ma'am. You know, the night of October 6th, the 6th, on the 6th, October 6th. So we went to, me and Mila, we went to a bar called Buddha, right? And we went to the Buddha, and we were there for a little while, maybe 2 or 3 hours we had been there. And to let everybody know, I did leave the Buddha with Kristen, okay? I left with Kristen, and it was me, it was Kristen, it was one of her friends, Kristen's friends, who I don't know the name of. I'm not sure what her name is. And also another individual, which was a guy that was at the Buddha as well. He was there. He came with us, so we all left. Me and Mila have a 2016 Dodge Hellcat, and we all left in the Hellcat, and we went to and the guy that I'm telling you about, I don't know his name. I'm not sure who he was. I'm not sure what his name is. He was an individual that we all met at the Buddha, and but we went to his house first, and he lives off McGregor, and we went to his house, and we partied a little bit at his house, and me and Kristen were intimate, and Kristen's friend and the man that I'm speaking of, they were kind of just like in the other room talking amongst themselves with each other, while me and Kristen, like I said, we were intimate together. And then, you know, we were there at his house for a little while, like I said, and then we went to leave his house, so now it was just me, Kristen, and her friend. And we were going to leave his house, and we were going to leave, like I said, in the Hellcat. It just so happened that the Hellcat was actually out of gas. We ran out of gas. So we pulled out of his driveway, and we went down the road a little bit, but we didn't even make it off his road. We were still on his street. The Hellcat broke down. We pulled it over into the side of the grass. And then Kristen called for an Uber ride for all of us. And so she called for the Uber, and we went from there, from the Hellcat in the Uber, to Kristen's house. Me, her, and her friend, Kristen's friend. And we got to the house, and we were all there just hanging out. And then Kristen's friend actually left the house. She said that she had work or whatnot the following day, and she had to go. And again, me and Kristen were continuing to be intimate together. And this went on for, I don't know, me and her together maybe an hour. And, you know, now it's maybe, I don't know, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around then. And, you know, like I said, I mentioned to you earlier that my vehicle was out of gas. So now my vehicle is all the way in McGregor on the street, of the guy, the house that we went to with the man. So I have to get my car, and anyways, so I asked Kristen if it's okay for me to bring her phone in her car, because I wanted to first of all, get my car out of there, because it's an expensive car. I'm not familiar with that road. I don't want my car there. I don't want it on the side of the road. I don't want it to get towed. So I was trying to figure something out with that. So she let me use her vehicle, and I told her that I would be back. So that's the beginning half of the story that I wanted to tell you. Did you get all of that?
I did. So I just want to confirm with you, the last time you saw Kristine Melton, she was alive.
Correct. She was. Yes, ma'am. So the second half of the story is I was driving around looking for Kristen's house. Okay. And so I'm driving around at this point in time around Cape Coral. And yes, I did run into Diane. And yes, I did meet her. And yes, I did see her. But I didn't have anything to do with her death. The only thing that had happened was I asked her for directions. And she actually asked me for a ride. She was going to work, I believe, and she had asked me for a ride. So I gave her a ride, and it was it wasn't even far that I had given her a ride, maybe a 5-minute drive. And I dropped her off, and I believe that it was at a bus stop, so I believe that she was getting on the bus, and that was it with her.
So you dropped her off, and again, the last time you saw Diane Ruiz, she was alive as well?
Yes, she was alive. Yes, correct. Yes, ma'am. Don't always listen to what the media says. Don't always listen to false reports. A man is guilty until proved innocent, and he is not guilty until proved innocent. And the thing about it is that I'm just a man sitting in jail, and I'm being slandered. I'm being talked down to. I'm being put on a very bad place. I'm being put in a very bad place, and it's not fair to me. I have a family. I have 2 children, and I'm a God-fearing man, and I just wanted to get my story out there and to clarify everything that's going on. And I just hope that people, take all this into consideration and look at me in a different light, and that people, hopefully they just can support me.
During court proceedings, Kristine Melton's best friend, who was one of the 2 Cape Coral women murdered in 2019, became emotional while testifying in the capital murder trial of the accused. During the trial, Melton was remembered as a cat lover and a great friend. Her high school friend, Stephanie Sailors, 41, testified about their close bond, mentioning that they had lived in Colorado before moving to Cape Coral together and working as servers at the same restaurant. She recalled that there was live music at the bar that night, and they went to see a band. It was a typical Sunday night, with nothing unusual at the bar. Later, as they headed to the upstairs bar, the accused, Wilson, suddenly introduced himself as JR and seemed friendly and charming. Notably, Wilson didn't have facial tattoos at the time, but now his face is covered in various tattoos, including swastikas and stitches. Sailors described the atmosphere as cheerful and intoxicated, with nothing alarming about Wilson's behavior. Despite being repeatedly questioned by Assistant State Attorney, Sailors insisted that Wilson didn't raise any red flags that night. After the bar closed, Melton, Wilson, and Sailors, along with another man named Jason Shepard, went to Shepard's home, where they spent several hours. During their stay, Wilson and Melton had a mutually agreed upon intimate encounter. The following morning, as they tried to leave Shepard's home, Wilson struggled to drive the stick shift car, so they eventually took an Uber to Melton's apartment. Before leaving to take her son to school, Sailors hugged Melton and said, "See you tomorrow." But that would be the last time she saw her friend alive.
She told you goodbye and that she'd see you tomorrow. Did you have any concerns for her safety?
No.
And in fact, if you did, would you have left her home with just her and Wade Wilson in that house?
Not at all. And if she was concerned, Kristine would have never let me leave that house if she was scared. She would have said, "Let's get this guy out of here together."
So when you left, is it safe to say that really the night was over? The party was over.
Yeah.
It's already morning time.
And, you know, like I said, we had this sense of relief that we had made it home. You know, we obviously were in a car with somebody who couldn't drive a car, and I know for me that was the scariest part of that night, was the being behind the wheel of a car with somebody who couldn't drive. And I know when we got back to Kristine's house in that Uber, it felt like, you know, we were home safe.
And it seems that your concern was not driving while intoxicated because along the way you had gotten Ubers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, when you left, you said that you had to take your son to school, and you also had to go to work. Mm-hmm. What time did you go to work?
I had to work the morning shift at Duffy's that day. I think I was at work by 10:30 in the morning. My son starts school at 9, so I dropped him off and then went to work.
Now, you mentioned earlier that Kristine worked at Duffy's. Did she have to work a shift that day?
She was not scheduled to work that day.
Nevertheless, did you reach out to her just to check in with her at some point?
Yeah, I had texted her in the early afternoon and just said, "You up?" And I did not receive a response.
Sailors later tried to reach Melton via text, but when she didn't respond, sailors assumed she was sleeping since Melton wasn't scheduled to work. Her concern grew when she received a call from Cape Coral Police, although she couldn't share the details of that call due to hearsay rules. The news of Melton's death devastated sailors, who then provided a statement to the authorities. Following sailors' testimony, Jason Shepard, who met Wilson at the bar that night, described Wilson as cool and recalled confronting him over the loud noise caused by his attempts to drive the stick shift car. Shepard mentioned that Wilson left his cell phone at Shepard's place, which detectives later retrieved during their investigation. Authorities also collected DNA samples from Shepard. Another witness, Josh Lukich, testified that Wilson, covered in blood and missing a few teeth, showed up at his business hours after Melton's murder. Wilson, appearing frantic, asked Lukich for help to leave town and confessed to killing someone. Lukich called 911, reporting Wilson's erratic behavior and confession. Another witness, Montanez, accused Wilson of stealing her $80,000 car. She testified that she had lent Wilson her car keys and noted his eyes appeared empty, describing them as black holes.
I went to the driver's side window. He wrote it down. I said, "Where are my keys? Where's my car?" He was calm and just saying, get in the car, and it escalated quickly.
Did you agree to get in the car?
No.
And when you would not agree to get in the car, how did he act?
Violent, aggressive, tried to pull me in the car physically, and I resisted, got plank style so that he could not grab me into the vehicle.
When you say you got plank style, could you just show the jurors what you mean by that?
And I was being pulled into the car by my dress.
Okay, so for the record, you just stood up and put your hands straight above your head.
Yes, so that I was not being able to be budged into the vehicle.
And you said he's pulling at your dress.
Yes.
Can you describe in more detail how he's pulling at your dress?
He's pulling dress, probably a little hair, everything, and then the dress starts to rip off of my body.
And what happens after that?
Once he realizes that the threads were becoming, I was getting away from him and he was still holding onto the dress, he opens the car door, obviously forgets to put in park. The car starts to roll forward. He tackles me to the ground. The car grazes both of our legs and I'm pummeled to the ground.
How hard did he push you to the ground?
I'm sorry, I don't recall. This is also fast and he's very heavy and I'm 5'2", he's 6'6", so.
Now, what happens after you are pushed to the ground?
I start to get beat.
Describe what you mean when you say he was beating you.
It all went so fast and so slow, whether it be punches, slapping, choking, that kind of nature. Yes.
Now, you mentioned that the fight is happening around the car. Does
Yeah.
the fight move at some point?
Yes, so I either get drugged, pulled, can't remember, by my hair, or arm, or dress, to I'm trying to reason with him, trying to talk to him, but there's nobody behind those eyes anymore. So there was no reasoning with him. I got to the front of the staircase, and I'm holding on to that, and a crowd begins to develop. I'm expecting people to help, call 911, so I'm just trying to bide my time at that point as quickly as help can get there, and that's not working either. I'm starting to get punched and grabbed and choked and all kinds of things again. Somehow we move up to the upper level. I'm trying to convince him, let's just go in Mila's spa. We'll talk about it there. We're safe there.
What was your thought process in getting him to your spa?
Elongate the amount of time it took to get help. I was trying anything that I could to expand the amount of time that I didn't have to go to his car where I'd probably never be seen again. Just elongate the amount of time. I knew help was on its way. The cop even said that's the most amount of pings they've ever heard from a 911 call ever. There was a crowd out there.
Okay.
So
you're essentially trying to buy time,
Yes.
hoping police will get there
yes,
to get you away
help.
from him.
Yes.
Now, you say so you're getting drugged by your hair, you're getting drugged by your dress.
Uh-huh.
Are the stairs to the left of the building the ones that the two of you go up?
Yes.
And where do you end up stopping once you get upstairs?
We ended up right outside suite number 6 is where my unit was at the time. And I didn't know whether, in my head, I didn't know whether I was going to be thrown over. I didn't know whether he was going to drag me in and then they would have to resuscitate my body if they got me inside. I knew I was going to die that day. I was just buying time.
Okay, so at some point, does he continue to beat you
Yes.
as you're up there? Does he punch you?
Yes.
Okay, describe that punch.
The final and end punch that I remember, he got me so straight on, and blood just went crazy everywhere, and it almost was like a minute where I could dunk under and run under his arm, run down the stairs, and then that's when my neighboring businesses, the design studio, were calling me, Mila, get in here. And then, like, I didn't even realize how crazy I looked, but, like, they rescued me.
The trial also heard emotional testimony from Diane Ruiz's son, Brandon Cuellar, and her fiancé, Scott Hannon. Cuellar described his mother as hardworking and caring, but struggled to recall details due to trauma. Hannon, who lived with Ruiz and Cuellar, broke down in tears while recalling how he realized something was wrong when he saw an unusual number of missed calls and messages. Both Ruiz and Melton were found murdered on October 7, 2019. The attorney detailed how both women were strangled, with Ruiz suffering a broken nose and neck, and Melton found tied up with blue skin and broken fingernails. Stated that Wilson's car was covered in blood, and he had used it to repeatedly run over Ruiz. Wilson allegedly confessed to his father, boasting about the murders and expressing a disturbing sense of excitement.
Say happened after he choked her.
He said he was looking for a place to put her body.
Did he find a place where he eventually dumped her body?
Yes, ma'am.
What did he tell you about the situation when he got to the place where he was going to dump her body?
He said that he pulled her out of the car and realized that she was still breathing.
So what did he tell you he did when he realized she's still breathing?
He said he got back in the car and ran her over until she looked like spaghetti.
As he's telling you all these things, what's his demeanor as he's telling you?
He was excited.
When you say excited, what do you mean by that?
I felt like he was wanting me to feel the way he felt about it.
Did he seem proud of it?
Yes.
Did he seem to show any kind of remorse?
Oh, ma'am.
And was he able to go into great detail about both of these ladies' deaths?
Yes, ma'am.
The second girl that he killed and left in the slot, did he think that she would be found?
Oh, ma'am.
He seemed to think he did a good job hiding her body.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, the whole time that he's telling you these details, is your wife hearing any of these details?
I had the phone on speakerphone.
Defense attorneys reserved their opening statement for a later time. Melton's cousin, Samantha Catomer, described her as a quick-witted godmother who made everyone feel safe and understood, lamenting that Melton would never experience motherhood, a role she was born to play. Ruiz was reported missing on October 7, 2024 on her way to work. Wilson, driving a car stolen from Melton's home, approached Ruiz and asked for directions. After she got into the car, Wilson strangled her and later ran her over multiple times, leaving her body in a field behind a Sam's Club, where it was discovered on October 10th. Ruiz's son, Romero, testified that his mother's death occurred just days before his debut in the high school marching band, an event she had been excited to attend. He expressed the pain of never seeing her in the crowd or having her witness his future milestones. Ruiz's co-workers remembered her as reliable and full of life. Linda Joncola, a former co-worker, described Ruiz as the heartbeat of the bar, known for her vibrant personality and distinctive laugh. Wade Wilson's parents played a crucial role in leading the police to their son. Wilson, who was adopted shortly after birth, had minimal contact with his biological parents even after reconnecting with them at 18, with their interactions being sporadic at best. However, on the day he murdered 2 women, Wilson felt compelled to reach out to his biological father. During his trial, Stephen Testaseca provided a detailed account of the disturbing phone calls he received from his son. Calling them upsetting would be an understatement. Testaseca mentioned that Wilson had a habit of telling exaggerated stories, which made it difficult for him to take his son's initial confession seriously. The horrific nature of what Wilson described only added to his disbelief. Wilson admitted to committing an irreversible act and confessed to being a murderer, promising to call again later. It took 3 more phone calls for Testaseca to finally believe what Wilson was saying. What ultimately convinced him was the gruesome and detailed description of the murders that Wilson provided, details too specific to be fabricated. Moreover, who would lie about such a heinous crime? When questioned in court about Wilson's behavior during these calls, Testaseca recalled how his son seemed excited while describing how he repeatedly ran over one of the victims using the other victim's car. Wilson reportedly expressed a desire for the second victim to look like spaghetti. Testaseca believed that his son wanted him to share in his twisted feelings. During these graphic conversations, Testaseca put the call on speaker so that Wilson's biological mother could also hear. Unbeknownst to Wilson, she was relaying the information to law enforcement. Wilson's parents then deceived him by saying they would send an Uber to pick him up, which allowed the police to locate and arrest him. In addition to doing the right thing, Testaseca repeatedly questioned himself, asking, "What if that was my mom?" He was convinced that Wilson could murder again and felt it was his responsibility to prevent that from happening. Wilson was discovered shirtless in a car after the murder of 2 women.
How you doing? What's going on, man? You're waiting on your girlfriend? Oh, okay. That's no problem. No, I got a call. Somebody was sitting in their car and everything like that. So. Oh, okay. She's on her way now. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. L41 to 5. ETA? Copy, I'm 1012. I'll explain to you when my partner gets here, okay? Yeah. How about this morning? just waiting for my partner to get here. Yeah, absolutely. And here's what's going to happen. Is the car running? Shut the car off for me. It's off. I'm going to detain you until I figure out what exactly is going on. Wait, you don't want any trouble for me? Okay? Okay, yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I'm going to have you step out of the car, and I'm going to detain you. Not arrest. Detain you right now. Okay? And I can't have any problems. You understand me? All right. What's that? Like, I'm at Joe's Crab Shack in the parking lot. I will. I give you my word. No. I have to detain you. By our procedures, I have to detain you. Because of the battery this morning. There wasn't any battery? I will. No. Just relax. Let me see the keys to the car. Let me see the keys to the car. Keys. Keys. Wait, we're not going to have any problems. Just give me the keys to the car. Wait. Just wait till my partner gets here. L41, gonna need a couple more units. Don't go anywhere. Hey. Don't do it. He's in his car. He's attempting to take off. Back up. Yes, please. He's taking off Fort Myers. Just ran a stop sign going up towards McGregor.
Kelly Matthews, the ex-girlfriend of Wade Wilson, has broken her silence on TikTok, accusing the police of failing to protect her. Matthews, who met Wilson online in 2018, revealed on TikTok that she blocked the jail's number after he allegedly tried to contact her last year. In a video, she shared thirst trap photos of a charismatic and smart Wilson before he got his now infamous facial tattoos, including 2 swastikas. Matthews explained that Wilson's behavior changed when he started using cocaine, leading to a violent altercation where he kicked a door and she threw a kitchen table at him. She noted that until that night, there were no major red flags. In a recent interview with Fox 4, Matthews recounted the terrifying events of February 18, 2019, when Wilson's alleged abuse nearly led to her death. After a disagreement about rehab, Wilson allegedly choked her, cut off her clothes with a knife, and sexually assaulted her in the car. He also reportedly bit her face and tied her up with a garbage bag. Matthews claimed that after this horrific incident, she escaped and reported it to the police, but Wilson was never arrested. She expressed frustration, believing that if the police had taken action, the murders of Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz could have been prevented. Matthews shared that hearing about how Wilson tied up Melton with her own clothes brought back painful memories of her own ordeal. She strongly criticized the police for not arresting Wilson, stating that if they had done their job, the 2 women might still be alive. Matthews believes she could have testified against Wilson if her case had been taken seriously. Wilson, who was convicted on June 12 of murdering Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz in October 2019, is awaiting his sentencing, where a judge will decide between the death penalty and life in prison. Jurors have already recommended the death penalty, bringing tears to the victims' families. Wade Wilson had his ex-girlfriend, Mila, testify against him during his trial, where her testimony played a key role in revealing his mindset and the premeditated nature of his actions. Mila recounted a chilling phone call with Wilson, during which he confessed to the murders and attributed his behavior to a combination of uncontrollable rage and the influence of crystal meth. Mila's testimony was crucial in the trial, as she shared details of a phone conversation she had with Wilson while he was in jail.
Hey, baby.
Daddy.
Hey. What's up?
I'm gonna take care of you. Okay.
What's up? What happened? What
I'm
happened?
gonna take care of you.
Thank you, baby. Were you able to put the money on there?
No, but I've made a decision. I'm just gonna take care of you.
Thank you, baby. Thank you so much.
I may never see you again, but I will take care of you.
Are you going to be able to put the money on tonight?
Yes. I am. Well, I just ordered a little bit of like snow. You know.
Right.
So I'm working on that, but I still have $150, so I can put.
Baby, why did you not walk to the jail and put the money on?
Because I had to order some snow. Like snow was falling. I had to make it happen.
So can that person that you ordered for not give you a ride to the jail?
No, I don't trust them. I'd rather walk than trust them.
Baby, I don't think you're going to be able to be... Hold on.
Right now, motherfucker.
Hey, babe. Does the jail close at any time, like the doors? Does that kiosk which you put money on close at any time?
Guess who's calling me right now?
At 1?
Guess who's calling me right now?
What, baby?
This is weird, motherfucker.
What happened?
Guess who's calling me right now?
Who?
Billy.
Baby, that doesn't make me happy.
No, it doesn't supposed to make you happy. Like I think this is like national news or something. Like, he hasn't reached out to me in forever.
Baby, you told me that you blocked his phone number.
I did. I don't know how he's calling.
Baby, can you please walk to the jail?
Yes. Daddy,
Will you?
I have you, 100%. I will take care of you. Don't worry.
Well, no, baby, I know you're gonna take care of me or whatever. Baby, that machine that you put the money on, it closes at like 12. You got to get there before 12, and it's 9 something right now.
It's 9:29, motherfucker.
Baby, please, walk there now, please.
Daddy, I'll walk right now.
I'll talk to you while you walk. And I have to call my dad at some point too, because I keep trying to call him. He messaged me on the kiosk and he said call me. It's very important.
Why did you have to do this? You were out.
I know, baby. I know. I was free.
You were out. Please try to explain it to me. Please.
Listen, I'll explain. Are you walking right now?
Well, if I walk, will you talk to me?
Yeah.
Okay.
Will you walk so you can...
My phone is actually on like 0%. Okay, just give it 2 seconds.
Oh my God. All right. Okay.
Daddy, talk to me.
I am, baby. I just want to... Well, baby, I put my... Huh?
You put your dick in them, didn't you?
No, I didn't, baby. No, I didn't. Actually, I really did not.
You did not put your dick in both of those girls.
Neither one. Neither one.
Them because the news is that you with them.
Yeah, well, the news is just saying that because of, remember me and you have already talked about, like, my past or whatever. The news is saying that because of that, probably.
Well, because Kelly's like...
Oh, well, really, because of Kelly. Yeah, you're right. That is actually why.
Being like a little... Like, I swear to God, like, if I read you the messages, you straight up being like...
Hey, wait, baby, can you do me a favor? Baby, here's what we're gonna do. I need you to 3-way call my dad, so because he has something important to tell me, and then you can hear what he has to say too.
All right, hold on.
Okay. Baby, you promise you're gonna make it to the jail?
I'm gonna fucking take care of you, motherfucker.
All right, baby.
I'm gonna take care of you. Okay.
Okay. Do I need to tell my dad? Do I need to tell my dad to call and get you an Uber to the jail?
No, I'll walk.
Baby, I'd rather just get you a ride. I can get you a ride there and back.
Now that you're locked up on safe.
Yeah. Shut up, motherfucker.
I hate
hey,
you, motherfucker.
Baby, I'm going to ask my dad to get you a ride, okay?
No, Daddy. Listen, I have the number right now. Tell me what to dial.
Yeah?
Hey, buddy. Listen, I'm just going to cut
cut to the chase with this because it's pissing me off really bad. I don't know what, and I was about to go off on that call with Mila, so I would rather talk to you privately first. I'm trying to understand something. Where are you and her at right now? Okay.
Oh, she said we're
Where are y'all at?
She said she's not going to leave me.
Okay. Well, let me tell you the truth. Do you know anything about media or anything with her?
No. What happened?
Okay. So yesterday when you called, she set your fucking ass up. She had a news reporter there and had you on speakerphone, dude. And the news reporter heard you telling her you're the best. They've got it all over the TV. Okay, I'm getting ready to play it for you. My wife's sitting here, and she's got the story where Mila calls you a fucking monster, where she says you're a psychopath and she's your ex and you were going to kill her, and they recorded your conversation with her where you're saying, don't leave me, you're the best thing ever, that, right? And then she's like, I'm so confused. So she's playing you right now because she's got the goddamn media there. Now I'm gonna play it for you. I want you to listen to this. This is your fucking girl on fucking TV. Okay?
The first one is Person of Interest makes bombshell.
This is how the media spun it yesterday. Person of interest makes bombshell jail call. Listen.
Murder investigations. This man, Wade Wilson, is in jail on unrelated charges.
The Cape Coral detectives say he's a person of interest in the death of these two women, Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz. And earlier today, Wade Wilson made a number of phone calls to his ex-girlfriend from behind bars. And I see the team coverage tonight. Reporter Gina Tomlinson is live with more clues from the investigation. She's talked to neighbors today in Diane's neighborhood. But we begin with Wink News investigative reporter Allison Gormley. Only she was there to hear that shocking conversation. Allison. When I stopped by the scene, Melissa Montanez this afternoon, she was on speakerphone with Wade Wilson calling from jail. Myself and my colleague Lauren Sweeney heard Wade tell Montanez about the murders of the two women and why he did it. And all throughout, he was still trying to profess his love to the woman at the other end of the phone line. A plea to stick by him. That's Wade Wilson, currently in the Lee County Jail. Calling the ex-girlfriend he allegedly attacked last week from a recorded line. That violent attack happened on the same day Kristine Melton's body was found at Cape Coral. Same day Diane Ruiz disappeared. Sure. Wow. Well, he just got two people. Montani has agreed to go on camera for this interview to talk about that phone call we heard if she could hide her face. On the phone, we heard Wilson tell Montanez he was on drugs. He just said he just felt like killing her. Like, that's not normal. Like, no. He just felt like killing her. I just felt like killing her. Nonchalant about it? A little bit too much. We couldn't reach Wilson for comment because he's still behind bars and doesn't have an attorney listed.
Yeah, that's the first one. Okay, that's the first one yesterday. Now I'm getting ready to play you the one today. So she's I don't know what her MO is, Wade, but she's telling you something, and she's got you. Okay, now listen to the one today. Listen.
All right.
I could have been one of those bodies. I was meant to be one of those bodies.
Bombshell jail cell confession from Wade Wilson to his ex-girlfriend. She says Wilson called her yesterday and admitted to killing both Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz. Thank you for watching NBC2. I'm Peter Book.
And I'm Kelly Burns. Melissa Montanez says Wilson savagely attacked her last week, just hours after he allegedly murdered Melton and Ruiz during a meth-fueled rage. NBC2's Delia Diabra talked with Montanez today.
Melissa Montanez says she barely made it out with her life after Wade Wilson viciously attacked her in front of her business last Monday morning. The two were trying to reconcile after a fight the night before, but that's when Wilson snapped, and Montanez says he tried to take her life after already allegedly killing two women.
Wow.
I'm horrified. Every morning I wake up, I pray for them. Every night that I go to sleep, I pray for them.
Melissa Montanez can't believe
He called me and he did admit to both murders.
her ex-boyfriend, Wade Wilson,
He sounded unremorseful, to say the least. He said death by strangulation with both.
was capable of what he confessed to her over the phone.
He absolutely can be the sweetest guy that you've ever met in your whole life. But he's also a monster.
According to Wilson's jail cell confession to Montanez, he admitted to killing Kristine Melton inside her home on Tudor Drive in Southeast Cape. Then, shortly after, came across mother of two Diane in Northwest Cape Coral.
Diane was happened by circumstance. She was walking to work and he needed another cell phone, another means of money, and she got in the car willingly, he said, strangled her out. I'm like, why'd you have to kill her? If you wanted money, if you wanted this, could you not have just taken her purse? Could you not have just robbed her? And he goes, I was just so messed up on that.
Montanez says she could have easily lost her life by the hands of Wilson on October 7th.
All right, Dad.
When he attacked her after
Dad.
returning from a crime.
Okay.
Dad.
So
Yeah, I
listen
believe
to
you.
me.
I don't need to listen to it.
Listen, I'm gonna give you some goddamn advice, okay?
In this conversation, Wilson admitted to his crimes and showed a disturbing lack of remorse, blaming his actions on the rage he felt and the effects of crystal meth. Her account was vital in helping the jury understand Wilson's mental state and the premeditated aspect of his actions, ultimately leading to their decision to find him guilty and recommend the death penalty. Wilson was found guilty of murdering Kristine Melton and Diane Ruiz and now faces either life imprisonment or the death penalty. In addition to the 2 first-degree murder convictions, Wilson, a Florida resident, was also found guilty of grand theft, battery, burglary, and petit theft, having stolen Melton's car and other items from her home. During the trial, a prosecutor argued that Wilson killed the 2 women for the sake of slaying, emphasizing the brutal nature of the strangulations. Wilson reportedly told detectives in a jailhouse interview that he would do it again. Although Wilson was scheduled to be sentenced on July 23rd, his sentencing has been postponed after his lawyers requested more time for doctors to evaluate him. A Spencer hearing, allowing the defense to present additional evidence before sentencing, was also mentioned. One of Wilson's lawyers, Kevin Shirley, noted that a doctor wants to conduct brain scans on Wilson, which would require moving him to another facility and could cost up to $10,000. The state attorney's office argued that the scans were unnecessary, calling the request a fishing expedition. Judge Nick Thompson denied a motion from Wilson's legal team requesting that he be allowed to wear street clothes, likely a suit similar to what he wore during the murder trial, for his upcoming court date. Wilson's lawyers have also filed a motion for a new trial or acquittal of Melton's murder and 2 other charges. Thompson has reserved his ruling, delaying the decision. Wilson's legal team claims that Florida's new death penalty law, which allows for a death sentence recommendation if at least 8 out of 12 jurors agree, violates his constitutional rights. In Wilson's case, 9 jurors recommended the death penalty for Melton's murder, while 10 jurors recommended the same for Ruiz's murder. Wilson's sentencing is now scheduled for August 27, 2024, with significant public interest and debate surrounding the case. Some individuals have even written to the judge, requesting leniency for Wilson. Thanks for watching and let me know what you think. Leave your comment below. Click the like button and the notification bell. Take care.